Today, I would like to share with all of you something I read about a year ago. In his latest book, 21 Lessons for the 21st Century, Yuval Noah Harari wrote, "To stay relevant you will need the ability to constantly learn and to reinvent yourself." He said this because, change is the only constant. And this has been in my mind ever since, and I kept on thinking. Yuval Noah Harari is an Israeli historian and professor in the Department of History at the Hebrew University of Jerusalem. He is the author of the bestsellers Sapiens and Homo Deus. 21 Lessons is his latest book. Now, let's see why Yuval said that we need to reinvent ourselves. In the past, change is very slow, but this is now happening at a much faster pace. People use the same tools for generations and for centuries. Professions were passed on from generation to generation. The son of a blacksmith will probably become a blacksmith. With Industrial Revolution, things started changing very fast and many people lose jobs because they cannot adapt to the changes or were unable to learn new skills or tools fast enough. Things now change at an alarming pace as we enter the internet age and now AI. Take for the case of communications. Some 20 years ago, the most common form of distant communication was the telephone. You can see many PCO booths from where you can make long-distance calls. Where are they now? And what has become of the PCO booth owners? Probably they will have to switch their profession to selling mobile phones or SIM cards, or do very different things altogether. How many of you visited the post office or write letters nowadays? I guess none of you. The postal systems has now become a dying institution because nobody writes letters or use the post office anymore. They were replaced by emails. Even emails are now out of date. We now prefer to use instant messaging, or WhatsApp or FaceTime. How long will these last? Will you still be using WhatsApp some 10 years from now, or mobile phones or your iPhones? They too will become obsolete very soon. Perhaps a chip may be inserted into your body and you no longer need handheld devices to communicate. You may just have to snap your fingers and a hologram appears before your eyes and you can communicate with somebody like they are sitting in front of you. What will mobile phone companies like Apple or Samsung do then when they are replaced by some hitherto unknown biotech company? This may sound like science fiction, but this is going to come true before you know. This is why we need to reinvent ourselves over and over during one lifetime and learn new skills while we can. Not only individuals but companies and organizations will also have to reinvent themselves if they want to stay relevant. Where are the Nokias and the Blackberries of yesteryears? Where are the Yahoo chats and the MSN messengers? The Switzerland-based global building materials company Holcim recently sold their Indian business to Adani Group. This is because cement is a carbon-intensive product, which means the process of making cement has high carbon footprint, and they have to pay lots of carbon tax to the Swiss government. They have now launched an environment-friendly product with more than 30% lower carbon footprint than other general-purpose cement. People nowadays are very aware and they would not use products that would destroy planet Earth or the environment. They are very serious about climate change, carbon footprint, etc. Even governments have to. Millions of money are pouring into oil-rich countries. But they know these oil wells will dry up someday. And even before that, the carbon emission will destroy the environment. So they set up sovereign funds to channel their oil money into something that are more sustainable, less carbon intensive and more eco-friendly. We speak about electric cars and how they will replace internal combustion engine vehicles. The Indian government is also taking drastic steps to control carbon footprint and save the environment. They are giving lots of concessions to electric vehicle buyers and are promoting ethanol-based flex fuel vehicles. With artificial intelligence, things are changing around us at an alarming speed. And it is going to affect us whether we like it or not. Art, music, designs, and even this voice you are now listening in the video you are watching right now is created using AI. In the past, your profession will last for your lifetime, but in the future, you may need to reinvent yourself over and over during your lifetime.